My worst day in Congress was the night of the Uvalde massacre. I put Teddy and Grace to bed and thought about those parents in Texas who were identifying their children by their shoes. And it just made me despair because as a parent, it's the worst case scenario. It's the one that keeps you up at night. And in most countries in the world, it's a remote possibility. It's one that can be put out of mind. In the United States, it's ever present. Our children of Gen Z and the millennials have grown up like this since Columbine. And parents increasingly have to plan around the threat of gun violence for play dates, for school, for taking their kids to public spaces. And it degrades the quality of our civic life, and it also is just yet another stressor for parents that's unnecessary. If we put in place gun violence policy, safe storage laws, red flag laws, background checks, an assault weapons ban, proscriptions on high-capacity magazines that we know save lives from our experience here in Massachusetts, doing so would improve our children's lives, it would make them safer, and it would also make parents more confident to let their kids get out in the world and grow and learn the way we all want them to. So yes, having two little children has made more real the horrendous impact that gun violence has had on parents and their children. As an officer in the Marines, I slept, ate, trained, patrolled with an assault weapon for 4.5 years. I saw these weapons of war in action, and it gave me a visceral appreciation for the damage that they can do to other human beings. These are weapons that are designed and engineered to kill other human beings at scale and at range. They are meant for combat. They're not meant for our schools, our churches, our playgrounds, our grocery stores. In the military, they're kept behind 3 locked doors at all times. That is standard military operating procedure. And so the fact that you can walk into a Walmart in parts of this country and purchase one of them with minimal screening and few questions asked just strikes me as being beyond common sense. If massacres of elementary school children don't move the GOP on guns, it is beyond conception to me what could. What I think is necessary to move Republicans on guns is 2 things. One is a full assault on the NRA, which has become a radical organization that looks to market the appeal of weapons and tactical gear to young, disillusioned men, and which is using its money and influence within the Republican Party to stop even the most basic common sense gun safety reforms that a previous generation of Republicans in the 80s and 90s were actually in support of. The NRA in its current form needs to be abolished because it is really aiding and abetting domestic terrorism. And then the second thing that we need is for voters in general elections, not primary elections, but general elections, to hold Republicans to account on this issue. The challenge right now is that most GOP members of Congress are worried about their primary, and primary voters vote on the issue of guns and will punish moderate members of the Republican Party for a pro-gun safety vote. But that can be balanced if these Republican members knew that in their general election, voters were also voting on guns. And so we really have to increase the salience and the urgency around gun violence votes for general elections. And that's on Democrats to make the issue more impactful in general elections. And it's also necessary that voters take the issue to the ballot box with them.